The 1964 penny, a coin that could be worth millions sitting in your pocket right now. Hidden within its copper surface lies a story of incredible value, remarkable errors, and historical significance that most Americans have never heard. Today, we're revealing why this seemingly ordinary penny has coin collectors and investors racing to find specific varieties that could be worth astronomical sums. In 1964, America was changing. The Beatles had just invaded, the Civil Rights Act was signed, and the U.S. Mint was quietly producing what would become one of the most fascinating pennies in American history. But what they didn't know was that some of these pennies would hold secrets that wouldn't be discovered for decades. Consider this: while most 1964 pennies are worth their face value, certain rare varieties have sold for staggering amounts at auction. One particular error coin, the 1964 double die obverse, recently commanded over $150,000 at auction. And experts believe even rarer versions might exist, potentially worth millions, still circulating in pocket change today. The story begins with Victor David Brenner, whose artistic vision shaped the Lincoln cent we know today. His design wasn't just a portrait, it was a masterpiece of miniature sculpting that would stand the test of time. But in 1964, something extraordinary happened during the minting process. The immense pressure to produce coins during the nationwide coin shortage led to fascinating errors that coin collectors dream of finding. Let's talk about what makes these pennies so valuable. First, there's the composition: 95% copper and 5% zinc. This seemingly simple mixture created unique conditions for minting errors that would later become worth fortunes. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were working overtime, producing billions of pennies. But in their rush to meet demand, they inadvertently created some of the most valuable error coins in American history. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The most valuable 1964 penny variety shows dramatic doubling in the lettering and date. Under magnification, you can see distinct separation in the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." This doubling wasn't just a simple mistake, it was a perfect storm of minting conditions that created what experts call a Class 1 double die. And here's the shocking part: many of these valuable doubles are so subtle that they've been overlooked for years, potentially sitting in collections or even circulation, waiting to be discovered. But that's not all. There are the repunched mint marks, where the D for Denver was struck multiple times in slightly different positions. These varieties can command thousands of dollars in top condition. And then there are the off-center strikes, where the design isn't perfectly centered on the coin blank. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the higher the value, with some examples selling for tens of thousands of dollars. What makes this even more exciting is that new varieties are still being discovered. Just last year, a previously unknown die variety was identified, sending shockwaves through the collecting community. This means that right now, someone could have $1 million penny sitting in their change jar, completely unaware of its value. The condition of these pennies plays a crucial role in their value. A regular 1964 penny in mint state condition might be worth a few dollars, but add a significant error or die variety, and that value can skyrocket. We're talking about jumps from a few dollars to hundreds of thousands in the blink of an eye. And here's the thing: these valuable pennies don't always look obviously different to the naked eye. It often takes careful examination under magnification to spot the subtle differences that can mean the difference between 1 cent and a small fortune. Let me share a recent story that demonstrates just how life-changing these discoveries can be. A collector in Michigan was casually going through old penny rolls from his grandfather's collection. He almost missed it, but there it was, a 1964 penny with significant doubling and a unique die crack pattern that had never been documented before. After authentication, experts valued the coin at over $200,000. This wasn't just a lucky find, it was proof that these treasures are still out there, waiting to be discovered. The market for these rare pennies isn't just strong, it's explosive. Over the past decade, prices for premium 1964 penny varieties have consistently broken records at major auctions. Collectors and investors are realizing that these aren't just coins, they're pieces of American history, each telling a unique story of a pivotal year in our nation's past. But here's the crucial information you need to know: identifying these valuable varieties requires the right knowledge and tools. You'll need a good magnifying glass or coin microscope, proper lighting, and most importantly, you need to know exactly what to look for. The most valuable specimens often show subtle characteristics that are easy to miss if you don't know where to look. Start by examining the date and letters carefully. Look for any signs of doubling, particularly in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Check the mint mark area for any signs of repunching. And don't forget to look at the overall strike quality. Sometimes, the most valuable pieces are those with dramatic striking errors. When it comes to preservation, these coins require special care. Never clean your pennies, this can dramatically reduce their value. Store them in proper coin holders or albums, away from humidity and extreme temperatures. Remember, a properly preserved error coin can be worth substantially more than one that's been mishandled. The hunting grounds for these valuable pennies are everywhere: old coin collections, bank rolls, estate sales, and even your own pocket change. The key is patience and persistence. Many of the most valuable specimens were found by collectors who took the time to examine every coin carefully, never rushing the process. As we wrap up this exploration of the 1964 penny, consider this: every time you handle one of these coins, you might be holding a piece of history worth a fortune. The next great discovery could be waiting in your coin jar right now. Take the time to examine your 1964 pennies carefully. You might just find yourself holding one of those rare, valuable specimens that collectors dream about. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories about valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Leave a comment below sharing your own coin collecting stories. Have you ever found something valuable in your change? And remember, sometimes the most valuable treasures are the ones we walk around with every day, just waiting to be discovered. The 1964 penny, it's more than just a coin. It's a mystery waiting to be solved, a fortune waiting to be found, and a piece of history that might just change your life. Keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows? The next great discovery might be yours. A lone penny spins on a wooden desk, gleaming under the light. This isn't just any penny, it's a 1982 specimen, and within its copper sheen lies one of numismatics' most captivating stories. In just a moment, I'll reveal why this single year of penny production has coin collectors racing to examine every cent that crosses their path. The most valuable examples have sold for staggering sums reaching well into six figures, with certain varieties so rare that their true worth remains unknown. During 1982, a perfect storm of economic pressures and mint production changes created what many experts now consider the most complex and intriguing year in American coinage. The U.S. Mint was forced to make a monumental decision that would forever change the penny as we knew it. This transition period resulted in not just one or two, but 8 distinct varieties of the 1982 penny, and some of them are so scarce that discovering one could instantly make you thousands of dollars richer. Let's travel back to 1982, when the cost of copper had skyrocketed to unprecedented levels. The U.S. Mint faced an extraordinary dilemma: each penny they produced cost more in raw materials than the coin's face value. The solution would trigger one of the most significant changes in U.S. coinage history, transitioning from the traditional 95% copper composition to a new zinc-based format. But this change wasn't as simple as flipping a switch, and that's where our story gets fascinating. During this pivotal year, the Mint produced both the classic copper pennies and the new zinc-based versions. But here's where it gets even more interesting: they also modified the die used for stamping these coins, creating both large-date and small-date varieties. When you combine these variables with production at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, you end up with 8 distinct varieties of 1982 pennies. Some of these varieties are so rare that they've become the holy grail for penny collectors. Now, you might be wondering what makes certain 1982 pennies worth potentially life-changing amounts of money. Consider this: while millions of 1982 pennies were minted, only a tiny fraction survived in pristine condition. Even fewer represent the rare combinations of mint marks, date sizes, and compositions that drive collectors into a frenzy. The most valuable 1982 penny ever sold. A perfect specimen of the elusive 1982 D small date copper variety, which commanded an astronomical sum at auction that left the numismatic community stunned. But here's the truly exciting part: these valuable pennies are still in circulation. Right now, in pocket change across America, incredible 1982 treasures are waiting to be discovered. The key is knowing exactly what to look for, and I'm about to share the expert secrets that could help you identify these valuable varieties. First, let's talk about weight. It's the easiest way to determine if you have a copper or zinc penny. A copper 1982 penny weighs 3.11 grams, while its zinc counterpart comes in at 2.5 grams. This difference might seem small, but it's crucial in identifying the most valuable specimens. A digital scale accurate to hundredths of a gram is your first tool in this treasure hunt. The next critical factor is the date size. Under magnification, the differences between large and small dates become apparent. In the large date variety, the numbers appear bold and well-defined, while the small date features more delicate, refined numerals. Pay particular attention to the 2 in the large date. It sits higher in relation to other numbers, while the small date shows more uniform positioning. But here's where it gets really interesting: the holy grail of 1982 pennies combines these characteristics in a specific way. The 1982 small date copper penny is so rare that many experts believed it didn't exist until one was authenticated in recent years. This discovery sent shockwaves through the collecting community and sparked a renewed interest in examining 1982 pennies with unprecedented scrutiny. Error coins from 1982 add another layer of potential value. During the composition transition, the mint experienced various production issues that resulted in fascinating errors. Double strikes, off-center strikes, and die cracks are just a few of the mistakes that can turn a common 1982 penny into a valuable collectible. Some of these error coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. The most valuable errors occur when the wrong planchet type was used. Imagine a zinc-based penny struck with the dies intended for copper coins, or vice versa. These transitional errors are among the most prized possessions in advanced collections, with values that continue to climb as more collectors recognize their historical significance. But beyond the obvious errors, there are subtle variations that can significantly impact value. The strength of the strike, the presence of original mint luster, and the overall preservation of the coin all play crucial roles. A 1982 penny that appears ordinary to the naked eye might reveal incredible details under proper magnification, details that could mean the difference between a face value coin and one worth thousands. The market for these coins continues to evolve. Just last year, several record-breaking sales shocked the numismatic community. A previously unknown variety of 1982 penny emerged, featuring a unique die crack pattern that experts believe occurred during the transition period. This discovery sparked a renewed interest in examining 1982 pennies, with collectors and researchers wondering what other varieties might still be waiting to be found. Now, you might be wondering how to start your own search for these valuable pennies. The process begins with gathering as many 1982 pennies as you can find. Check your change jars, ask friends and family, and consider purchasing rolls from your local bank. Remember, every 1982 penny you find could potentially be worth far more than its face value. Once you have your pennies, you'll need the right tools. A precise digital scale, a good magnifying glass or loupe, and proper lighting are essential. Start by separating your coins by weight to identify the copper versus zinc specimens. Then, examine each coin carefully for the date, size and mint mark. Document your findings. You never know when you might have something special, but here's a crucial tip that many collectors overlook: condition is everything. Even if you find a rare variety, its value can vary dramatically based on its state of preservation. Look for coins with minimal wear, strong strikes, and original mint luster. The difference between a circulated and uncirculated example of the same variety can be thousands of dollars. The future value of 1982 pennies continues to rise as more collectors understand their significance. These coins represent a unique moment in American numismatic history, a time when the very composition of our smallest denomination underwent a revolutionary change. Each 1982 penny tells a story of economic pressures, technological adaptation, and mint production challenges. As we wrap up our exploration of the 1982 penny, remember this: every pocket, every change jar, and every coin roll could contain a numismatic treasure worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The next great 1982 penny discovery could be sitting in your possession right now, waiting to be identified. Take action today. Start examining those 1982 pennies in your collection. You never know, you might just find one of those rare varieties that could change your life. The thrill of the hunt, the excitement of discovery, and the potential for incredible value all await in the fascinating world of 1982 penny collecting. Remember to like and subscribe for more fascinating stories about valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Share this video with fellow collectors and coin enthusiasts. You might just help someone discover their own numismatic fortune. Until next time, keep searching those penny jars. Your next great find could be just a coin flip away.